I'm Jake with HHA Sports, and today we're going to talk a little bit about our dovetail sights and how they're going to fit on the new Matthews V3X. So as you'll see, I have a Tetra Max Tournament Edition sight on this 33-inch V3X. All of our dovetail sights, the Tetra and the Tetra Max, will fit on the V3X. Also, in the next couple of weeks, you'll see us come out with a shorter dovetail version. It'll just be our short bar version, which will also fit on the V3X on both the 29 and 33-inch model. One question that we've gotten pretty frequently lately is the windage adjustments on your Tetra and Tetra Max bow sights on the new Matthews bow. And this year we came out with the infinite adjust plate, which you'll see on the front end of your sight. So when you
Cool. Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Bucks of America podcast. I am your host, Jeff Vance, but this is the cooking edition. I have my friend Jon Duffield, and he is going to talk about his recipe. I'm pretty excited about it. He's going to give me some pictures so this way everybody else can witness it as well. So, Jon, why don't you tell us about your venison recipe?
All right. So I don't know if this is the wrong thing to do with the backstrap, but you're going to grind the backstrap up and make burger pan. I'm just kidding. You don't grind the backstrap. Never grind the backstrap. Your face was like, "Are you kidding me? This is what we're doing right now."
Yeah, I was a little. It's
no.
like, what the heck here? It's like this one you told me.
No, so I take the backstrap. I take the widest piece of the backstrap, which is normally up at your shoulder blades, and I take it and I lay it down and I spiral it out. So I start cutting on one side and just kind of chopping it out. Once it's completely flat, you don't, not butterfly, don't butterfly it. You want to actually spiral it out. So just keep working it and rolling it out like a, what did my wife call it, like a cinnamon roll, using your knife. And once it's flat out, you can tenderize it if you want, just to kind of even it all out. Then I mix cream cheese, brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce, jalapenos cooked already. So you saute some jalapenos and some onions, dice them up, cook them up, and then mix it all in the cream cheese, the jalapenos. Sometimes I'll throw in some cheddar cheese in there, and then I smooth it over top of the whole thing. So now I have basically your backstrap unrolled, and then you have this cream cheese, brown sugar, jalapeno popper topping on top of that. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, whatever floats your boat on that. Then I roll it up. I set my big game tip, right? Set your stove for double the amount of heat that you want your end result to be. So if I want a 130 inside, I'm going to go for a 260. And it sounds super low, but it's low and slow. We're going to do a reverse sear on it. So what I'll do is I'll wrap it up completely, roll it back up, again, like a cinnamon roll, but as a log or a pumpkin roll, maybe. And then I take butcher twine and I bind it up like you would a roast. Just do 3 or 4, wraps, depending the size. And then I put it in a cast iron pan and I throw it in that 260 oven. 260 is normally the spot. check it at 25, 35, and 45. And what you're looking for is you're looking for the internal temp to be around 130. That's kind of where I want to go. But a little bit, depending where you like it, that's going to give you a medium rare at the end. I just feel like, I like bloody meat. I like rare, but I also like to be able to cut it and chew it and eat it. And this is kind of one of those things where you kind of have to, don't overcook it, but medium rare is good. If you like less, then obviously scale it back 10 degrees below what you want it to end at. I pull it out. Now, the cheese should be melted. The meat should be at about 130 or 125, wherever you feel. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Once you sit it for 10 minutes, while you're doing that, if you have a turkey fryer, this is very important. Take your cast iron and put it on the turkey fryer and crank the turkey fryer up to like as high as it can get to where your cast iron looks like the gates of hell. Once that happens, after your 10 minutes of resting, you're going to take your roll of venison goodness and you're going to put it in a dry, hot cast iron pan, and you're going to roll it around and just get that good crispy bits. It should be like, depending how hot it gets, I would say 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes each side. And I just roll it around till it's got a good crunch and it's got that good char on it, and bring it back out, put it on the cutting board, and I do like a 10-minute rest on that. I like to let it rest there because by that time the cream cheese kind of has too much, it's like too melty. So you want to let it rest a little bit and then cut it up. And literally my mouth is watering just thinking about it. We're going to have that tomorrow and I'll get your pictures for you. But yeah.
That sounds
So
amazing.
good.
Where
Dude,
did you,
it's so good.
how did you come? Was this something that you came up yourself, or was this taught?
So I married a woman who lets me hunt no matter what, but she makes stir fry. So I like cooking. I grew up in my mom's kitchen, my grandmother's kitchen. I like watching cooking. I enjoy the whole, I think one of the coolest things that happen in the outdoor YouTube realm is these catching cooks where you get to watch people like do different recipes. And I just looked at a jalapeno, almost like the dove popper that your buddy did.
Yeah.
Like the piece of, some dudes do like the deer heart instead of the dove and then wrap it in bacon. But we like the stuffed, the roll, the backstrap roll. And I know brown sugar kind of sounds weird, but it's the move because it's got the sweet, it's got the savory from the cream cheese, it's got the spice from the jalapeno, and it's super important to cook those jalapenos prior. Otherwise, they're just not going to get cooked enough in the oven to make them like soft and palatable. Otherwise, you're just chopping. I mean, if you're a big fan of that weird texture, then go rip for it. But everything's by sight. Like I couldn't give you any real measurements because it has to cover, the cream cheese has to cover the meat. The brown sugar, just sprinkle it on. I'll try to get some pictures of that. And then the peppers, I think we do like 2 or 3 of those and some onion maybe.
Nice.
Depending how we're feeling that night. But dude, it is so good.
I'm looking forward to it. And even if you when you do the cream cheese, like just do a silent video of it. And this way then we can grasp like how thick you put on it, if you can change up the angles and just record it and don't even put any sound to it. But this way then we can see how much you put onto it and how you spread it out. And then, but the biggest thing is getting to like how long of a piece of backstrap do you use to get, so you can create a decent length, but also have a good structure when you turn into a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, so like I would say Georgia deer, it's probably giving about 6 inches. It's kind of like where the rib cage stops.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then it kind of thins out a little bit and almost looks like a tender. That's pretty much about as far as you're going to get. The 2 I'm making tomorrow, we just had somebody shot bad shot, spine shot, so we lost some of the backstrap. So I have 2 5 to 6 inch strips that I'm going to cut up and make into 2 individual rolls. Another way that you could cook it, like do that slow cook process, is in a smoker. We do that more often than not. We don't put it right into if I could put something into my smoker, I do it. And my smoker, I could hold 260. So I'll hold that 260, but yeah, smoker first and then reverse sear and then sear at the end is probably it, hands down, one of the best deer things you could do.
Oh, that sounds
amazing. And everybody that sits around it, like when we do this, it's normally, like I was telling you, it's normally like a big feast. Like we do like different cuts and all our friends come over. But like when people come in, they see this, it's almost like is it pancetta where they do the pig and they wrap it up like the Italians do that?
I think so. I know what you're getting at. I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure if that's the right term with it, but yeah.
I think it's a pancetta, but it's almost like that. And everybody comes in, they just see this roll of cream cheese and spice, and then I'll throw like some sea salt on top of it. And then even better yet, another big pro tip, red wine. So take that hot pan after you're done rolling everything in it. And if you like alcohol or you like cooking with alcohol, because obviously it doesn't have the alcohol content, let that pan cool down just a little bit and then deglaze it with any kind of dry red wine. And that will make this glaze that goes on deer like, oh, it's so good.
Oh, man.
My mouth's watering again. Dude. There you go. You did it.
Sounds like you really have this down pat, man. It's like, this is really inspirational. It's like, I'm curious about this too, but I want to try this out. I won't be able to do it this weekend, but this is going to be one of the ones I want to give it a shot, man. Well, thank you again for coming on the podcast, Jon. You were a great guest. So I'm looking forward to talking to you in the future, man.
For sure, dude. Thanks for having us.
You're very welcome.
I'm Jake with HHA Sports, and today we're going to talk a little bit about our dovetail sights and how they're going to fit on the new Mathews V3X. So as you'll see, I have a Tetra Max Tournament Edition sight on this 33-inch V3X. All of our dovetail sights, the Tetra and the Tetra Max, will fit on the V3X. Also, in the next couple of weeks, you'll see us come out with a shorter dovetail version. It'll just be our short bar version, which will also fit on the V3X on both the 29 and 33-inch model. One question that we've gotten pretty frequently lately is the windage adjustments on your Tetra and Tetra Max bow sights on the new Mathews bow. And this year we came out with the infinite adjust plate, which you'll see on the front end of your sight. So when you put this infinite adjust plate on, you'll want to either flip it to the inside or the outside. And for the inline mounting sight options, such as the V3X, you're going to want to make sure that the infinite adjust plate is to the outside of your infinite adjust channel. This will allow for optimal windage adjustments. So you'll also be able to find the infinite adjust bracket on our website if you're already shooting a Tetra or Tetra Max Tournament Edition sight. Another way that you can get your HHA to fit V3X is by buying our conversion kit, which you can find on our website at hhasports.com. We'll be selling those at retail around $60. So basically the only thing you'll have to do is you'll have to take apart your sight at the third access point, and you can convert any Tetra or Tetra Max sight. So if you have a fixed frame, you can get that into a dovetail. So like mentioned before, any dovetail sight will fit a Tetra or a Tetra Max, as well as our short bar version. For more information, you can visit our website at www.hhasports.com.